Our next topic discussion on plant water relations. Plant water relations. See here, plant and water relations topic, we are discussing that. See here, what is plant water relationships? See here, without water, any plant cannot survive. Water is the medium for transporting various kinds of minerals, salts, ions, etc. What are such kind of minerals are transported from soil to various parts of the plant? That is what next chapter we will discuss. That is on mineral nutrition topic. Next chapter, 12th chapter. So ultimately, water is the main source for transporting various kinds of chemicals, various kinds of food material. See, that relationship we will discuss today class. See, water is the basic component of living cells, basic constituent, nothing but basic component of living cells. Yes, ultimately we know that chief component of the blood plasma is water. 90% of the blood plasma is water. So in any cell, either plant cell or what animal cell, any living organism, in any living organism, water is the basic component. Not only living cells, in any kind of living cells. In leaf or petal, it amounts to about 90% of the total weight in a leaf or a petal. Already we discussed that. Even if you will take leaf and press it, a kind of a sap, that is called juice. The juice is nothing but sap. In the juice, what was there? Water component only. 90% of the total weight of the petal or leaf is water. Most of the water enters the plant through root hairs and then move to other parts through cell and tissues. This is already we discussed. What we discussed in previous chapters, we discussed that most of the water from the soil, it is soil. It is taproot system. It has a number of primary roots, secondary roots, tertiary roots. Already we discussed that. So it is stem, aerial branches. So from these roots, root hairs absorbs water from underground and transport them into the plant through cells, tissues. That is called vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. It has been estimated that only about 1% of the water absorbed is used by the plant. Generally, if we clearly, if you will observe, out of 100% of absorption of water, only 1%, exactly 1% of the water is used by the plant. So exactly, rather than saying exactly 1 to 2%, 1 to 2%, 2% of the water absorbed is used by the plant. Out of 100%, 1 to 2%, because exactly we cannot say. Okay, rest 99% of the water is lost by transpiration through the leaves. How transpiration process takes place, this is also we discussed. Now specifically about transpiration, I need not say to you. Next, the movement of water from one cell to another cell depends upon water relations of the plant. Yes. So see here, for example, xylem you take or phloem you take. So like this way, xylem. Besides the xylem, phloem will be there. So for identification, it is phloem, it is xylem, it is phloem, it is xylem. So xylem is made up of a number of xylem elements, number of cells. Phloem also, phloem cells, phloem elements. So water from here to above the plant parts, it is supplied due to water, that is depends upon water relations of the plant. So the plant, how much maintain good intimacy with the water depends upon that the movement of water from one cell to another cell takes place. So how the water is moved from underground root hairs to above the plant, another theory was there, root pressure theory, transpiration pull theory. Some experiments are there in next topics. Then you will get a full idea. Okay, that's all. So water is essential. Everybody knows that. Water is essential for all physiological activities of the plant cell. Yes, ultimately, how in our body water plays a major role in all activities of metabolisms in such a way, even in plants also, water is essential for all physiological activities, all metabolic activities, for construction, for anabolism, for catabolism, metabolic pathways, for all the kinds of photosynthesis, respiration, photorespiration, transportation, aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, all kind of activities. All physiological activities are mainly depends upon by the water in plants. The water acts as an excellent solvent. Water is a universal solvent. Everybody knows that. Not only for plants, even for animals and all kind of animals. For all kinds of animals, water is a universal solvent. So the protoplasm of the cell is nothing but water, in which different molecules are dissolved and suspended. So for example, plant cell, you take plant cell. This is plant cell. So nucleus common will be there. This is a vacuole common will be there. Golgi complex will be there. Ribosomes will be there. Protoplasm will be there. Endoplasmic reticulum will be there. Mitochondria will be there. All kinds of organisms. Okay. So the protoplasm of the cell. So this entire is called protoplasm. See here. This is cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, whatever may be the organelles, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, all plastics, all kind of intercellular organelles are collectively called protoplasm. Protoplasm. So here, the protoplasm of the cell is nothing but water, in which different molecules are dissolved. In this protoplasm, different kinds of molecules are dissolved and fixed. Okay, that's it. So it helps in the uptake and distribution of food, mineral nutrients and other solids required for growth and development. Yes, water. See, for example, here many times this is not any special topic already. So plant morphology we have discussed. See, this is taproot. These are all root hairs. This is aerial branch. So water. So underground in this soil, water will be there. Huge water will be there. So the water, it in the sense water helps in the uptake helps in the uptake and distribution to various parts of the plant. Distribution of mineral nutrients in soil. The soil is a reservoir of mineral nutrients. Mineral nutrients means what? Sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, manganese, cobalt, chloride, etc. Many. These are all called essential nutrients. So there are 20 different types of essential nutrients. Essential mineral nutrients are available in the soil. These are all dissolved in the water. See, it helps in the uptake and distribution of mineral nutrients and other solutes required for other solutes. What are the solutes are required for the plant growth? Various kinds of solutes. Solutes means what? Salts, various kinds of salts. These are all required for plant growth and development. So these are all are abundantly in huge quantity in soil available. These all are dissolved in the water and distributed to various parts of the plant for plant growth and development. So the water acts as a source of oxygen during photosynthesis. Yes, see, during photosynthesis, water molecule in presence of light activated chlorophyll in leaves splits and releases 4 protons plus O2, oxygen. Oxygen is a gas which is escaped into the environment. It is oxygen is a living gas. We will inhale the oxygen and we are surviving. So protons, these protons are helpful for synthesizing ATP in plants. This is called photolysis. Splitting of water during photosynthesis is called photolysis. 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 Okay, so water acts as a source of oxygen. How water acts as a source of oxygen? This is what happens during photosynthesis. A watermelon, for example, here some example you see a watermelon. A watermelon has over 92% of water. See, everybody knows that watermelon, kalangri. In this season, we will give first priority to eat watermelon. So the watermelon, what is the main source of watermelon? 92% of water. Most herbaceous plants have over 80 to 95% of water. 85 to 90% of water. Only 10 to 15% is the dry weight. Okay, so remaining 85 to 90% is depends upon water. So here you will see some more examples. The woody parts of the plant. Woody means what? Generally wood producing plants. The plant which producing number of branches and grows more height. Such type of plants are called woody plants of the plant, have relatively little water as compared to the soft parts. Yes, for example, neem tree, you take neem tree is a woody plant. In those woody parts, the water content is less as compared to soft parts. Soft parts, nothing but tender parts. Okay, so in those plants, the water content is more, so that those are all seems to be soft. A seed, though looks dry, also contains 90 to 10% of water. Yes. So without water, any seed cannot available. Okay, so any seed, whatever may be the seed you take, that seems to be a dry, but in that, so a little quantity of water will be there. That's maybe 9 to 10%. The water absorbed in plant is mostly lost in transpiration. Yes, whatever may be the water is absorbed by the plant. You may be asked one question, sir. Rest out of 100%, 1% is replaced by the plants. Rest of the amount is evaporated. Sir. Then what is the need to take, sir? Yes, a superb question. See here, water, abundant quantity of water is available in the soil. In some of the places, soil contains excess amount of water. In that water, salts, minerals are dissolved. When plant absorbs such kind of water, the plant parts utilizes minerals, nutrients, various kinds of solutes effectively utilized by the plants for growth and development. After utilizing minerals, nutrients, salts from the water, remaining water evaporating in the form of transpiration. After utilizing nutrients from the water, so excess water no use. So that water is eliminated. See, even in our body, we will drink water. After drinking water, we will get energy. If we will not eat food, no problem. 1 day, 2 days, nothing will happen. We will become tired. Frequently, if we will drink water, our body takes some nutrients from the water. Okay, it will give some release. So we will release urine. Okay, so this material eliminated in the form of urine. In such a way, in plants also, excess amount of water is eliminated in the form of transpiration. A mature corn. So everybody knows that Mekejoli, a mature corn plant absorbs about 3 liters of water every day. A mature corn plant, maize plant absorbs 3 liters of water every day. Every day 3 liters of water absorbed, and some utilized for plants. Rest of the amount is evaporated. That's why if we will go agriculture field, around the agriculture field, we will feel a kind of a good cold environment because of this is only. Okay, so here if you will see, a mustard plant absorbs water equal to its own weight in about 5 hours. Okay, that means what? Within 5 hours it will take how much its body weight is, similar to that body weight it will take that much water. That is mustard plant. In such a way, water maintain good intimacy, good relationship with plants. Okay, that's all. Next, next topic, water potential. Water potential. See, the kinetic energy, see here, the kinetic energy of water. Kinetic energy of water is referred as water potential. Seema, so you might have studied kinetic energy, potential energy, different kinds of energies in physics. There is different, here is different. It is biologically, there is physically. In physics, various kinds of experiments. In this sense, in biological sense, the kinetic energy means, so the energy possessed by an object, for example, it is the an object. So something energy is possessed by an object because of its motion. When this object is in motion, automatically a kind of energy is released. That is called kinetic energy. In physics, what you are studying, that is don't apply here. Okay, so we are discussing the kinetic energy topic in plant sense. So when any object was in motion, at that time, due to that motion, that particular object releases a kind of energy that is called kinetic energy. So water possesses a kind of energy that is called kinetic energy. It is referred as water potential. So definition comes. What is water potential? The kinetic energy of water is referred as water potential. Kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? When any object was in motion, because of its motion, because of that particular object motion, so a kind of energy is released that is called kinetic energy. So for example, if you will take water molecule possesses kinetic energy. See, water always moves. Water molecules possesses a kind of energy. See, if we take water, pond or canal or any lakes, rivers, oceans, water always moves. Water always moves. Due to that motion, there is a kind of energy is released that is called kinetic energy. So here, if we will see in the liquid or gaseous state, so they are in random motion. They, in the sense, what, liquid or gas, so always in random motion, moving motion, random motion. So that is both, that may be rapid or constant. Okay, that motion may be rapid, fast, and constant. So here, the greater the concentration of water, the greater the concentration of water in a system, in a living system, the greater its kinetic energy or water potential. Okay, so due to this water potential, water is moving from lower concentration to the point of higher concentration. See, so water is moving. Water molecule is continuously moving. Continuously moving. So when continuously moving, there is a kind of energy is released, kinetic energy. So automatically then water molecules are passes towards upward direction in the living system. So this topic is highly difficult topic to understand, because in systems, in vascular system, in transport system, so water molecule possesses a kind of energy that is called kinetic energy. That is, we cannot see with our eye. So with matter, we can imagine only. So in the plant's vascular system, how water moves, that we cannot see. Okay, that's all. See here, the greater the concentration of water, if the greater the concentration of water means what? You know, water is universal solvent. If you would not mix anything in that water, so water molecule concentration will be more. So for example, we will drink mineral water, river water. Both you compare, the river water is more concentrated. So when you drink both the waters, So he feels little bit thickness about river water. We will feel a kind of a thin about filter water, mineral water. Okay, that means what? In river water, water molecules are concentrated. Those are all the molecules are pure. The pure water will have greater water potential. Pure water. Can you see where we will get pure water? River water is pure water. So, as per my knowledge, river water is pure water. Underground water is a pure water. Deeper layers of the soil in some places, um, um, hand pumps will be there. Who will press the hand pump, who will get water. That is pure water. So pure water will have the greatest water potential. Greatest water potential. The greater the concentration of water in the system, the greater its kinetic energy or water potential. So generally water potential is represented by the Greek symbol psi and is measured in pascals. And it is measured in pascals or megapascals or bars. One bar being close to 1 atmosphere. 1 atmosphere. This is 1 bar is equal to 0.987 atmospheric pressures. Okay, so 1 megapascal is equal to 10 bars. See, generally, water has some atmospheric pressure, water potential. Water potential, generally, water possesses 1 atmospheric pressure. See, if you see, assume this is a ocean. So, oceanic water is divided into 3 zones. Aphotic zone, abyssal zone, benthic zone. 3 zones. So, in this, up to this, from upper surface to up to 200 meters, one zone. 200 meters is one zone. 200 meters to 2000 meters is one type of zone. From 2000 to up to bottom of the ocean is one zone. In such a way, 3 zones are divided. This is what you will learn in second POC. So from top to 200 meters, for every 10 meters, 100 meters depth is increased. For every 10 meters, 10 meters depth is increased, 1 atmospheric pressure is increased. In such a way, up to 200 meters, the atmospheric pressure is okay, no problem. We can survive. If we will go up to 200 meters with highly some protective mechanized instruments, up to 200 meters, no problem, nothing happens for us. So 200 to 200 above, the pressure will be more and more. 2000 to 10,000 and above the depth, the pressure will be still more high concentration maintained. So above the 200 meters depth, if we will go, whatever may be the mechanized tools we used, we cannot survive. So this indicates that for every 10 meters depth is increased, 1 atmospheric pressure is increased. So pressure in the sense what? So the water movement will be more and more. The kinetic energy will be more and more. Okay, so that's that. So this is water potential. Next, here some factors that affect water potential. Generally here, if we will see, water potential is regarded as the tendency of water to leave a system. Tendency means what? Movement of water. Water potential is referred as movement of water in the plants. Movement of water depends upon water potential depends upon movement of water in the systems. So water always moves from a region of higher water potential to one of the lower water potential. Higher water potential generally in soil, higher water potential, in the leaves, lower water potential. From higher to lower, water has to move. So while water moving from higher to lower, so in this case also energy needed. That energy is provided by the plants. Okay. That's all. Next, factors that affect water potential. Some of the factors, those factors disturb the water potential. What are those factors? See here, water potential psi. Water potential is represented by psi. It is influenced by two factors. Water potential is influenced by two factors. Those are concentration of solutes or solute potential. See, for example, this is water, pure water. So the pure water will have greater the water potential. So the water potential is influenced. Water potential, if you wanted to disturb, if you will add any kinds of salts, then automatically water potential is disturbed. Okay, so the concentration of solutes, it is also called solute potential. It is represented by psi s. Pressure or psi p, pressure, it is represented as psi p. So if you will apply some pressure if you will apply, then automatically water potential is disturbed. So water potential of a solution can be represented by the following equation. That is, so water potential psi w is equal to solute potential plus solute potential plus pressure. Here psi s and psi p represent the effects of solute pressure respectively. Okay, so psi s and psi p, if we psi s means concentration of solutes, psi p means pressure. These two represent the effects of solute nothing but salts. Sorry. So when we will add salts to the water, pure water, then automatically water potential of the water potential is decreased, disturbed. Okay, that's all. See here, next topic. So here some information given that. So actually that information no need. So let's go to another topic, that is osmosis. Osmosis. See here, osmosis. The movement of molecules across a semi-permeable membrane. Across a semi-permeable membrane. The movement of molecules across semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane is known as osmosis. See, the movement of molecules. For this, we have to see one diagram. It is beaker. In this beaker, here we have kept semi-permeable membrane. If we will consider A, this is we will consider B. Here, what is there? Molecules of pure water. Molecules of pure water. Molecules of pure water. These are all molecules of pure water. It is sucrose solution. It is sucrose solution. Okay. So the sucrose solution concentration is more. The sucrose concentration is more. The sucrose, it is B. More. The water concentration is less. Okay. So this is what pure water molecule. These are all pure water molecule. It has concentrated, sucrose concentrated. So what was the molecules of a sugar? That is sucrose solution. Sucrose solution. Then what happened? The movement of molecules across this is middle what we kept. This is semi-permeable membrane. Movement of molecules across semi-permeable membrane. This is semi-permeable membrane is contains minute pores. So across semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane is known as osmosis. General definition of osmosis is this. Generally, movement of molecules across semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane is known as osmosis. So osmosis can be regarded as a special kind of a diffusion. In this also a diffusion process happens. How special kind of a diffusion of water molecules from a region of the higher concentration to the lower concentration. See, here water molecule concentration is more. Here water molecule concentration is less. Water molecule concentration is less. Sugar molecule concentration is more. So these sugar molecules cannot move from B to A because this semi-permeable membrane does not support to allow the sugar molecules. Okay, that's why here water molecules from a region of higher concentration to the lower concentration. That is from dilute solution to a concentrated solution. That is from a diluted. See here, the water is a diluted condition, from diluted solution to a concentration. This is a concentration solution. What concentration? Sugar concentration solution through semi-permeable membrane. Then, so from A to B, molecule movement of water from A to B happens. Not at all B to A, because in this one, sucrose molecules are more than water molecules. So water molecules through semi-permeable membrane does not go. Here to go water molecules, these water molecules concentration is less. Then the water molecules move from A to B. This is called osmosis. In a physical system, osmosis depends upon three factors. Those three factors affect the movement of water. So that's all. Next, first, temperature. Second, pressure. Third, concentration gradient. Third one is concentration gradient. Temperature. See here, temperature. So keeping the pressure constant. When semi-permeable membrane separates the pure water on two sides, each being at a different temperature. See here, a small diagram we will see here. Here, see, this is semi-permeable membrane. This is we will consider A. This is we will consider B. So keeping the pressure constant. So in both the pressure is constant. Without pressure, any water molecule does not move. So when a semi-permeable membrane separates the pure water, this is pure water. When semi-permeable membrane separates the pure water on two sides, here water concentration is less, sugar concentration is more. Okay, that's it. Here it is. Separates the pure water on two sides, each being at different temperature. So here pure water is less, sugar concentration is more. Pressure is common. So temperature, each being at different temperature. It is pure water. Here temperature is different. Here temperature is different. Each being at different temperature. The molecules of water, each being different temperature. The molecules of water will move from the region at a higher temperature to the one at the lower temperature. Here temperature is different, here temperature is different. So always at water has high temperature only comparatively this. So then the molecules of water will move from region at higher temperature to higher temperature to the one at the lower temperature. So that's why water move from A to B. This is a normal process. So in the temperatures, if any variations happen, then this osmosis process would be affected. Osmosis process does not take place proper way. That is, temperature would affect the osmosis. Next, pressure. Keeping the temperature constant, when the water on two sides is subjected to different pressures, okay, somehow we maintain temperature is constant. Keeping that temperature constant, when water on both the sides, on the two sides is subjected to different pressures. Water on two sides is subjected to different pressure. Here is maintained different pressure. Here is maintained different pressure. Okay, the water will diffuse from the higher pressure to side of lower pressure. So pure water has higher pressure. Definitely, if you see river places, pressure will be there. Okay, so it is a pure water, pressure ultimately will be more and more. So then water moves from A to B. In this pressure, if any variations happen, then due to the pressure also, the normal osmosis process would be affected. Okay, that's all. Next, concentration gradient. See, when pure water is separated from, okay,